Welcome to the Weaver Sews. I'm Daryl Lancaster. I offer two different sleeve versions of my tunic pattern. The 700, which has a set-in sleeve, like the one on the form behind me, and the 1700, which has a drop shoulder sleeve. The drop shoulder version is more casual and better suited for men or gender-neutral looks. You can see that the sleeve has a much shallower cap, more like a men's dress shirt sleeve. This type of sleeve is a breeze to install. It is inserted before the side seams are sewn, unlike a set-in sleeve. First, I'll finish the underarm seam allowances on the sleeve with my bias cut nylon tricot. I've already finished the cut edges of the tunic side seam allowances. As always, when inserting a sleeve, check carefully that the correct sleeve goes in the correct armhole. Look for the double dots, which means the back. The sleeves are not interchangeable. With right sides together, pin the sleeve to the garment armhole, matching the front and back dots and the shoulder. Remember, pin what you know is correct and make the rest fit. Stitch the sleeve into place with a 5/8 inch or 1.5 centimeter seam. Finish the armhole seam with the bias tricot. The bias covers both the tunic and the sleeve seam allowances together. The armhole seam allowances will press towards the sleeve. With right sides together, pin the front to the back at the side and underarm seams. Again, pin what you know is correct and make the rest fit. And in this case, I'm trying to match a plaid, so that takes precedence over everything, within reason. Pin to the dot at the lower part of the side seam, leaving the shirt tail curve open. Start stitching from the lower dot on the side seam all the way to the lower edge of the sleeve. Press the seams open. Press up the lower edges of the shirt tail, 5/8 of an inch or 1.5 centimeters. You'll want to try on the tunic at this point to determine the proper sleeve length. Typically, I roll my tunic sleeves, but the lower edge should be finished. I trim off any excess length, leaving a 5/8 inch or 1.5 centimeter seam allowance. Clean finish the lower edge with the bias cut nylon tricot. Turn up the hem allowance and press. Now all that's left is securing the hems. Top stitching works well for the hems. I use that to finish off this tunic. Because this tunic is open all the way down the front, I could start in the center front, go around the shirt tail hem, cross over by the lower dot on the side seam, around the back, again cross over the dot, and back to front. On a tunic with the neck placket, I actually start the top stitching at the dot at the lower side seam, go around the shirt tail hem, up the other side, across the dot on the other side of the side seam, and around the front and back to start. I top stitched the lower edge of the sleeve as well. I'm going to hand stitch my wool tunic. I like the fluid quality of hand stitching on this bulkier fabric, and I like hand stitching. You can see I've hand stitched the hems on this tunic. Use a blind catch stitch if you don't want a ridge to show on the front of the garment. I covered the blind catch stitch in the video on hems. And that's it. Thanks for following along as I created my new tunics, one from a commercial raw silk and one from my own hand-dyed and hand-woven wool. I'm Daryl Lancaster for The Weaver Sews.